adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industry, that our youth will be employed. Attend the church here can tell you.
Service in Holy Rosa is in Benin.
We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. When Ekiti State drives to hold the 34th edition of the National Festival of Arts and Culture NAFest, few people could imagine its landscape is such a perfect fit for a major cultural festival of a national nature. Ado Ekiti, the state capital in particular, and the host city, is such an extensive montage of hills and valleys. They offer unique background for a week of rare and inspiring cultural extravaganza, the like of which the state had never seen. Ekiti essentially prides itself as the home of intellectuals. It may be that the environment may have greatly influenced the drive for scholarship in this state. I accept it may be a field of academic speculation whether actually landscape influences scholarship, but in the case of Ekiti State, it definitely influences the evolution of culture. NAFest in Ekiti is a beautiful story. The people of Ado Ekiti are hill dwellers, but you can say probably in those their hills is concealed vast expression of culture in various diversities, and they have been showing it here since the NAFest began in Ekiti State. Now it's beautiful, but then it has been reinforced by the totality of the participation of this NAFest. What we are seeing is not only an explosion of dance, music, drama, but we are also seeing that how much culture is bonding the country together. It is a beautiful picture. We have been speaking to a number of people on their experiences on this.
It's a statement of fact that this country, what unites us is bigger than what divides us. What we've seen here today is a statement of fact that this country, people run negative story for no reason. They want to divide Nigeria. Why? We don't need to divide anywhere.
That's why you are always obsessed with the issue of diversity, unity in diversity,
yes,
and the role of culture in bonding Nigeria together.
Nigeria must be together, irrespective of our challenges, our differences. We must learn to live with each other progressively. Yes, delegations from all over the country coming to Ekiti were warmly embraced by the environment, and it strategically influenced their state, and not one delegate would go back home without an echoing presence of the area. NAFest itself has transformed into such a big symbol of a unified Nigeria and the biggest get-together of culture in the country. People of NAFest see themselves as part of an extensive brotherhood with a common attachment to the promotion of peaceful coexistence and national values through culture and arts. Over 30,000 people were in Ekiti for NAFest, either as state delegates, national delegates, tourists, journalists, and various other categories of stakeholders. They all blended and were one happy family. Events of the opening day of NAFest in Ekiti has a feature that is seminal. Well, one of the virtues NAFest assumes in festivals like this is the integration of youth and children into the mainstream of cultural expression in Nigeria. You can see the youth today. You may think that in Nigeria all of us are under attack by our youth. No, it is an expression of the cultural prowess of our youth and children, that if we train them well, they are going to make us proud in the later. It is a feature of NAFest
that it sees to the emergence of a national market wherever it holds around its area of major activities. It evolved in Ikiti too. It is officially called a cultural market, and appropriately so, because its products are exotic, and they often reflect the creative genius of various segments of this country in arts and crafts. There are performing art scenarios too. The patrons of this market are a rich blend of all the arrivals to Ikiti for the festival and the local community, and people who are drawn by the festival from all over the world. State participating at NAPES put up pavilions to make a rich show of their endowments in arts and crafts. It is such a lavish display that gives a micro picture of the enigma that is Nigeria in terms of what it has and the potentials it possesses in art and culture spaces. Sometimes it is such a display of inspired creativity that can almost raise the dead or bring the future now. Such rare imagination, actually.
I'm in Ocean Pavilion. In Ocean, you see plenty woodworks that are not only beautiful to watch, but they have thematic meanings that only the best of the Yoruba can interpret. But then, I'm here with some of the officers. Mr. Kelvin Odiako is from Ocean. You don't sound Ocean to me, obviously.
Yeah, well, we are one Nigeria.
Okay.
I did my youth service in Osun State and I was retained. So today I'm the Director of Visual Art Department, Osun Council for Arts and Culture.
Did you hear, and you are from which state?
From Delta State.
From Delta State. Did you hear that? How about that for national unity? This man is not from Osun State, but he did in NYSC here. Now they're recognizing his talent and what the difference he can bring to the state. They retained him, and to the glory of God, he is making such a difference not only to the state, but to the country. Mr. Diako, what I'm seeing here is various artworks. They captured my imagination. Now, different of them. Like, let me see this. You can look at this artwork. Two people, obviously, Yoruba people, look at the caps making difference playing Ayo.
As a matter of fact, the Yorubas are noted as a tribe that is the most prolific in wood carving all over Africa. So now on display we have various artworks. We have Oduduwa.
Okay. Okay.
This is Oduduwa.
Okay, let me see it. This is actually a woodwork of Oduduwa, the father of the Yoruba land itself, or the father of the Yoruba nation itself. Obviously, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You are correct. So Oduduwa is the progenitor of the Yoruba race.
Yes.
So everything about the Yoruba revolves around Oduduwa.
Oh, okay.
Display are basically the mirror of the society, what the Yorubas are noted for. So, there are farmers here. And when you talk of Babalawo, we have this Okmon,
okay.
Okmon Ifa.
Okay, this one.
No, this.
Okay, the tray. Okay, that's the table.
For definition.
That means a table for the chief priest.
Yeah,
or somebody who does the definition.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
So this Babalawo.
Okay. But I'm much fascinated by that. It's very far from. Madam, bring that in for me. The lady carrying this pot is Aruba Osho. Yeah, that lady. No, that one. There, this one exactly. Is Aruba Ocean as well?
We call this one Ajire.
Oh, okay.
So it's also it doubles as a container for jewelries or whatever important items.
But what of the human carving?
It's actually a woman. Is this a woman with a baby at the back? You have a boy playing flute, and another lady too. You see, when you look at Yoruba carving, you discover that the head is almost about 2/3 or even 1/3 of the entire body. And why they have it that way is because they believe the head is the seat of wisdom. So they give the head more emphasis than any other part of the body. You see that, when you compare this with Western art, they are very, very much concerned about proportion, about 7 hairs to the body. But the Yorubas believe that head is the seat of wisdom, is the seat of power.
What I'm saying, NAFES is like a school. It's an institution where we continually gain knowledge and probably get that knowledge for your own benefit and for the benefit of the humanity. Obviously, coming to this pavilion is shedding more light. But then there are more areas like that.
These pavilions can be so exciting to visit. Such that Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Runshawi, make it as part of his engagement notes to always go round the pavilions at every fest, and they never fail to capture his imaginations. The FCT pavilion suddenly had my mind thinking. The display has a picture that to me doesn't look FCT. I was immediately inquisitive.
Obviously, we know about ceramics, pottery in the FCT. What about woodwork?
You have to remember that FCT is the center of unity. And so it's like in FCT is the mini Nigeria. All the states are supposed to reflect what they do, aside from portraying the cultural heritage of the indigenous FCT people. Yes. We also have to consider that FCT is housing the entire Nigeria. So expect to see anything from everywhere in the FCT stand, because we are the center of unity. We make the whole of Nigeria feel united and know that FCT is our capital.
So this is reflective of that?
This is a reflection of that.
Does NAPES give you, what does NAPES give you? How do you see NAPES over there?
Well, NAPES is a very good opportunity for us to showcase what we have. It's a good opportunity for every state that is rethinking her culture. For us, particularly in the FCT, we seek to translate our cultural activities into income-generating activity, thereby translating them into sustainable enterprises for the young people especially. So an opportunity like this for us to see what others are doing and then let them see also what we are doing.
In another of the pavilions, I observed a remarkable scenario. In an open market, men pounding yam, and a group of singers were urging them on. It is actually a stand belonging to Ekiti, and there is a story attached to all this. It may come as a surprise to many people, including to myself, that Ekiti cultivates yam on a large scale. The truth is, it does. Not only does it cultivate yam, as a Rogo community, Ekiti State knows more about yam than it does know about amala. It is a staple food here. In fact, so many cultural engagements and rituals are attached to yam in Ekiti State, like the Iriji festivals in the east. This is an exhibition of one of them. The eating of the yam is a stuff for Nollywood.
But nobody will give it to Ekiti State that they are large producers of yam, to the extent that they have a serious celebration to celebrate yam, to cook it or to boil it and to pound it. Today I have seen it. It is a beautiful life. You need to go around this world, you need to go around this country to see the beauty that is concealed around this country you call Nigeria, and what unifies us together. Well, there has been a lot of celebration tied to it, dance, music, everything. The ultimate thing now is to eat from the mortar itself. The pounded yam need not to go out of the mortar. It has to be eaten there, and I'm going to be part of that eating. Well, I haven't washed my hand. Ladies first. Oh yeah, Oga.
So you start first. You are a visitor. We are showing you this. You have to start right.
Well, I'm given the privilege of starting to eat. These people, I don't know that they want to set me up.
This is worowo soup, one of the most traditional vegetables that are indigenous to it. Ọbẹ̀ worowo. When you eat it, you go to your bedroom, you understand? You be okay and you sleep.
Obviously. Well, one interesting thing about the Ekiti. Ekiti is 100% Yoruba. When you come to this place, you may imagine you will eat a lot of amala to your satisfaction. Believe me, if you are not lucky, you will they will spend their whole days or your whole period in this place eating pounded yam. In fact, you may not see amala, and it's a Yoruba land. Well, Ekiti.
Wallahi, in my week stay in Ekiti, I ate pounded yam twice a day. Such is the rarity of the food options. It may go on record also that Ekiti State cultivate yam on rocks, a feat that can make the savannas of the north central and the forests of the southeast green with envy. That much, I think, is eye-opening. Apart from the pavilions, as centers of cultural exhibitions, they can be restless too. When you see the old girls on stage, you know the times are good. Such is the character of many of these pavilions that they explode with music and dance all day long. There were in particular some 5 pavilions belonging to 5 states of Niger, Benue, Kano, Rivers and Delta, and very close to homes where daily NAFES functions are held. Whoever made that arrangement did not have that the hazards of the neighborliness. Well, whatever happens at the hall has those pavilions to contend with. They are musical 24 hours. On the day the Director General Renshawe decided to go around those pavilions, a shot of him dancing, Renshawe found a corner and enjoyed a good view. Over the years, NAPES has been a trailblazer in practicalizing Nigerian unity through culture. Over the last 5 years, its themes are never far away from the necessity of unity in diversity and the preeminent disposition of culture to bond the nation together. Culture, from experience with NAPES, is one of sincere drives of achieving those goals. It is just heartwarming to see dancers from states in the north jumping into the dancing night of states in the south with a total agreement, joy and camaraderie. The commanders of culture are bringing Nigeria closer to one another even more. One of the rare presences in NAPES in Ekiti was the national president of Ratau. No national president of Ratau had ever been to NAPES. It is needless to say that all those heroes and heroines engaged on different cultural expressions are members of Ratau. It is just in order that their national president, Kabir Garbatani, was on hand to see his constituent deliver, and they did with the amazing panache.
In Nigeria, all over life, all over we can say, there's no problem that can produce what we are producing in terms of national unity. Nowhere, no sector, except cultural sector. In Nigeria in particular, that's why we are feeling great and even greater. We are so happy with this composition of the participants.
Richard Chairman, one thing that really bothers me, continually you find that we don't have this cultural gathering that not only promote not only nationality but even culture itself. We don't often see it at the local level, only at the national level like this. What are you doing differently to see that you ginger this kind of spirit? Because maybe states should be having different cultural things that really elevate the people, that give you a sense of identification.
Yes, of course. You see, if we are following us in Ratau, we have what we call Ratapest. Ratapest organized by Ratau as an organization. Initially, the idea was conceived by North Central of the Union, and later has been extended to National Secretary. Now we took over the whole thing at national level, meaning we are trying to expand and to extend our tentacles with our members, even Nigerians will be carried along in terms of cultural values and understanding of our culture.
Life during the Ekiti phase was not limited to what is happening at the arena. I took a long and tortuous walk to one of the iconic rocks in Ekiti. Ekiti rock formations have rare features of beauty and excellence. There is, for instance, the Arenta waterfall and the Ikogosi cold and warm spring. We shall talk about them later. They are all in Ekiti West local government area, and they are a marvel to watch. But for now, this mountain has a storyline that is pleasing to hear.
Ado Ekiti, and Ekiti generally, is a hilly area. In fact, the people of Ado Ekiti are nothing short of hill dwellers. You can see them almost always coming down from their hills for day's activity. But these hills are not just mere hills. In them are concealed human stories that they are a parcel of a human activity. In fact, where we are going, this rock you see, human activity might have existed in this place for over 5 or 10 centuries. In fact, what we are going to see here is a cave. It's not just merely a cave, it's a natural cave, not tampered by human activity. And there, the people told us almost 500 people can find their place there seated. And then, in fact, there is an underground tunnel in which the people will be moving out. I am fascinated, I'm interested. So I say I would like to go and see it.
Our walk is actually a mountain climb because it is some 930 feet above sea level. It is called Abanijorin, meaning something you can see from distance while it is in one place. Apparently a compliment to the rock's imposing height and its size. It is seated in Ekiti, some 25 kilometers from Ado Ekiti. The passage to the mountain top is narrow and lopsided. The danger to the climb increases with every progress upward because on the event of any slip, there is no pillar to stop your drip to the ground, and that will surely be one-way transport to heaven. Our climb was early morning. There was fog and dew everywhere. It was supposed to be a pleasure ride, something like a walk in the park, but how far from the truth. As we climbed, our legs threatened to collapse on us. At several points, we had to just stop and have our breath back. As we make progress in our upward movement, our numbers begin to dwindle. Many in the entourage decided to take it easy and stay behind. A number tumble along the way and stand up to move on. Still, the peak we aim at is ominously distant and risky. But we have a beautiful view of the spaces in the mountain. It is actually one spacious gallery of various shades of rock formations and luxuriant trees. The grasses make me fear a bit because rocks and caves are notorious for snakes, especially pythons. My imaginations were actually killing me. It just didn't add up that you are lucky to always travel across states safe despite fears along the way, just for you to be a python's breakfast in Ekiti. Ultimately, my fears come to nothing. We had our day in the sun in the Abanijorin.
We are on a mountain top, over 700 feet above sea level. Well, it may not be mathematically precise, but it can be anything like that. The important thing about this place is that these are areas where human activities have taken place. There is a place like an amphitheater here, like a necropolis. Stories that may bring you back the stories of Roman times. That is happening here, or that has happened here in Ado Ekiti. And the people here are so thrilled about it, they really wanted to show us.
Eventually, we reached the peak of the mountain. To access the amphitheater, we had to squeeze our way through a blind tunnel. The entry gives you jitters, but our numbers breeds confidence. When the hand set light, we navigated the tunnel. Our adventure wasn't over. We climbed through the distances to the cave, which the local community strongly believe it can accommodate 250 people comfortably, and here it is, wide and deep.
It's a cave that can really effectively contain 250 people. We don't know how it all happens. May it have happened because of a mutation? May it have happened because of maybe changes over time? Whatever the case is, this place may perhaps be a place of migration or a place of permanent settlement. But then it looks so beautiful.
I've never seen a place where you can effectively hold a conference where 250 people can sit down confidently here, and this is what you are having. We have 3 types of soil here. It's amazing. One, there's a soil that's never witnessed a drop of water. Yes, yeah. There's another soil that water oozes out from the rock. Yeah. Then there is another top that witnesses water through maybe the outflows of a rain forest.
Okay, let us do one thing by one. Let us do it sequentially.
Yeah.
We are talking of this place.
Yeah.
What do you think it has been used for?
I think in the olden days, maybe during the internecine war or during the wars, in the early wars, this may be a safety bet or a safety runaway shelter for the old grandpas and mom who our old generations. That was my thinking.
We seated our tired souls in the magnificent cave, reflecting on its statistics. It is apparently an upright position rock that had a giant cup-shaped rock leaning on its upper top on its head, while on a standing position. The spaces between the 2 rocks in a standing position is the cape. The atmosphere is breezy, pleasantly breezy. It can sedate you to sleep. There are pseudo-setting arrangements of rocks here in arc shape and following a top steep down setting.
Apparently this place is a shelter, and a shelter that is hosting people either running away from war, either in a migration, or people who are gatherers and hunters. It can happen in all ways. But the most crucial thing for now and for our purpose is that this place is still preserved and that we can reflect it and just remember the people of the past.
There is indeed a story buried in Abuja. Perhaps future archaeological works can shed more light on the mystery of this area. It just speaks of the country's tourism asset though. Naples generally is not only a pathway to Nigeria's unity, it is also a showbiz whose like is not seen in Nigerian space. It is also a vista to what Nigeria is all about in culture, art, environment, tourism and brotherhood.